Hey guys, welcome to my channel Black Lens. Thank you for stopping by. If it's your first time, consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. It helps me put out quality content like this. So it is a federal crime for you to wear the uniform appearing as a military person when in fact you are actually not. And we'll be looking at this one guy in particular, right? Let's take a look at the video.
Come here. Come here. Hey, sir. Hey, my son liked to meet you. He really admires guys in the Army.
Hey, buddy.
All right, so let's pause it right here. So this guy is in the Army, right? From his rank, he appears to be a staff sergeant, right? So before we even go into the video, a few things, right? So usually, you know, like young kids look at military guys, they watch movies and stuff, so they look at military guys like heroes, right? So this guy who approached this staff sergeant and says that, okay, you know what, my kid wants to, you know, like say hi or whatever, right? Now let's see what is going on.
Graduate with the 2nd Battalion.
What's your MOS?
My MOS is 11 Bravo.
All right.
I'm what's called Attack 1. All I do is I go out on missions.
Where'd you get your 3 CIBs at?
Okay, so you see the guy asks him, right, and says, what is your MOS? MOS is the Army's way of calling what your job title is. Okay, so MOS is military occupational specialty, right? The different branches have different names for it. I know the Navy is called a rating. So what the job, so someone might come up to you in the Navy and be like, oh, what's your rate, or what is your rating? It means what job you do or what is the title of the job. For the Air Force, it's called AFSC, Air Force Specialty Code. It's just a code, so when you hear someone saying 3F or 4NO or 1C or things like that, it's just different codes for the different jobs, right? Okay.
Afghanistan.
All 3?
All 3.
You know you need to be in 3 different campaigns to get 3 CIBs, right?
This one was from Afghanistan.
Okay.
That's from Iraq.
Okay.
And that was for my 2nd rotation back to Afghanistan.
You know, no matter how many you do, you can only get one.
So first off, right from what he just said, I already know that this guy is a fraud, right? So he says that all he does is go on missions. That is unheard of. Like, there is no one whose job is just to go on missions all the time. It sounds crazy, it sounds absurd, it doesn't make sense at all. Now, secondly, he says that what is it called, he has all these patches. So when you look on his uniform, right, there are different patches, and the way it works is when you go on a campaign or a deployment or whatever, right, if you go 5 times, you still get 1 badge for it. So what he is saying is that he has been there, what, 3 or 4 times he mentioned, and out of that times he got a badge for every time that he was there, which does not make any sense at all. Because if they gave a badge for every single time you were there, we wouldn't be able to keep our ribbon stack. It would be all the way up in our shoulders. Yeah, so that doesn't make any sense at all. Let's continue seeing what is happening.
Iraq, Afghanistan,
Yep.
all 3. You can only get them. You know that, right?
Because my campaign took me outside of mission lines from Afghanistan.
That doesn't make any sense. And you're in 2nd Bat Rangers?
Yep.
There it is. Where's your combat patch at?
Gave it to a little kid again.
All right, why's your flag so low on your shoulder? It should be up here.
Well, what he just said doesn't make any sense. Is it too sunny here? Okay, I think this is better. Yeah, the sun is hidden like real hard. I don't know where it just showed from. But okay, so this guy is saying that his assignment took him outside mission lines. That doesn't make any sense. What is it took me outside mission lines? Like, there is no set of, you know, like a barrier, or like when you say assignment took you out of mission lines, that is just using jargons. Like, you're using a lot of vocabulary to sound as though you know what you're talking about, but you absolutely do not.
Got me on that one, bud.
Why are your boots are all on blast too?
Because I literally just got home.
From where?
From
So he doesn't have a combat patch. A combat patch just shows what squadron you belong to, what unit or what shop you work in. He doesn't have. So it means that looking at him, you really can tell where exactly or what squadron he belongs to. That's another red flag. Secondly, he has his American patch or American flag all the way at the bottom. It's supposed to be on the cover at the top, and now he has it hanging low. That's another red flag.
Fort Lewis? Is that where the Rangers are?
That's where we're stationed.
How come, where's your shirt underneath? Your tan t-shirt. What's your rank?
I'm a staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant? Where'd you go to basic training?
Fort Jackson.
Fort Jackson? You know, the infantry only goes to Fort Benning, right?
Yeah, for Ranger training.
No, for basic training.
No, I didn't start off as a Ranger, as infantry.
You didn't? What'd you start off as?
I started off as a M1, as a driver for Humvees.
What's the actual MOS for that, for a driver?
My driver MOS, hold on 1 second. Staff sergeant.
And this right here is one of the ways that you know they are BSing you. Suddenly they get a phone call from nowhere, right? Suddenly he has a phone call, he's checking his phone, text message. Because so these guys, right, these fraud guys, as soon as he starts to question them, as soon as he starts to go in depth, they begin to feel uncomfortable. Because to the average civilian, there's just so many questions that you ask, right? So they try to memorize as much as they know the civilians will ask them, right? But once a true military person starts to ask them questions and they feel uncomfortable, they start pulling out their phones, checking text messages and stuff. That's one way you know that these guys are not real.
Staff sergeant. He's calling a staff sergeant. Why is he calling a staff sergeant if he's already a staff sergeant? That doesn't make much sense.
Hey, where are you?
Come here.
Okay. You want me to meet you there?
He's calling.
So the guy asks him, right? So he claims that. So first of all, he got where he trained, right? Where he trained joining the military, he got it wrong. Now he's saying that he didn't start off as an infantryman. He started off as a driver. Now he's asking him, what is the name of that MOS? Like MOS, what is the drivers? Is it maybe like, is it 3 Alpha, B Echo or something? And he doesn't know. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he gets a phone call, right? Now that he got a phone call, remember he said he was a staff sergeant. He picks the phone and he's like, staff sergeant. That is stupid. That doesn't make any sense, because it's just like you seeing maybe 2 managers in the same company having the same rank, right? Or having the same title. And then you see this person and you're like, director. Or you see this other person and then you're like, when the person is the same, like, I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. Like, you both have the same rank. Why would you call the other person by the same rank? That doesn't make any sense. A staff sergeant will never call another staff sergeant, hey, staff sergeant. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But let's continue.
On a staff sergeant when he's wearing the rank of a staff sergeant. That makes much sense.
Okay.
Here it is, guys. Stolen valor at its finest. He's wearing a United States Army uniform. Claims to be a United States Army Ranger.
Okay, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to step down here with my Sergeant Major.
All right, let's go. Let's see your Sergeant Major. So you shop at the mall with Sergeant Major on Black Friday?
Sometimes.
Yeah? That's cool. Why don't you just admit you're a phony? You know it's illegal, right? What you're doing right now?
Let me tell you something. If I was a phony,
yeah,
then I wouldn't be wearing this uniform.
You wouldn't?
No.
Because you are a phony. I just called you out on about 10 different things.
So at this point, the guy recording, right? So I believe he's a veteran, right? So like he has served his time in the military and has gotten out. So that's one thing about military dudes, right? Like, we know the uniform inside out. Even if someone is not in the same branch as you, right? And they wear the uniform and it doesn't look right, you can tell from a mile away that someone is faking it. Just by the way they walk in the uniform, the way they carry themselves in the uniform, you can tell this person is faking it, right? So I'm sure that was the reason why he approached this guy to begin with, right? Now he's saying that his sergeant major is so rare that a staff sergeant is just casually hanging with a sergeant major on like mall hours, and they are just chilling, especially in uniform. That is like, no, like a sergeant major is like way up here and a staff sergeant is down here. You're just casually chilling with your sergeant major. That's like you saying you're going on a lunch break with maybe the vice president of the company, and you guys are just hanging out in the mall, just chilling. That doesn't make any sense. Like,
And all of them are. This is illegal. What you're doing right now is illegal. Because you know what? I've worn that uniform, and I've had friends get killed in Afghanistan wearing that uniform. No, you haven't. You're full.
12 years in.
Stone Valor. Right here. Stone Valor.
Hey, let's go. Stop it.
At its finest. What's your name, dude? Okay. Thanks, buddy.
all right. So this is one thing about these guys, right? These fake guys that go about in uniform. There's one thing about them. Once you start to raise your voice, once you start to call them out, they just walk away. But if you meet a true military personnel that has gone through training, has gone through technical training, has served for years and years, they wouldn't stand quietly for you to call them out. That is just not going to happen, especially if the person is like genuine military person. They won't give you the opportunity for you to even call them out, let alone yell at them, right? Because they've earned the right to wear the uniform. But guys like this, once you start to call them out, you know, they don't want the situation to like escalate, so they just walk away. All right, so let's look at this next guy, right? Let's look at this next guy. He's just chilling at the airport, whatever situation, but let's take a look.
I don't have any jeans and stuff like that. I'm here to drop him off this morning, and I'm heading back out. Just visiting for the holidays.
Okay. So you're former military?
Yes, sir.
So you know you can't be in uniform when you're not military,
I
right?
understand, yes. If I had a pair of jeans to put on, I'd have them on right now this second.
Okay, so this guy, remember I said how it was illegal to wear the uniform if you're not in the military. So this guy, the cops approach him. And what you don't know is most cops out there are prior military. So they serve their time in the military, come out, and then they become civilian cops. So they can also spot it if something is wrong from a mile away. So these cops approach this guy, right? He claims he's sitting at the airport waiting for his family or whatever, and then he's wearing the uniform. They ask him like, "Are you a military personnel?" He was like, "No." He served his time and he got out. Let's see how the story unfolds.
I didn't have anything for my ACUs left right now.
What branch?
I was doing DOD.
With what branch?
We put out in the Marines.
So that's your uniform, even though that's the Army.
This guy just said that he works for the DOD. There is no military personnel that you will ask, what branch do you serve? There are about, I believe, 6 branches. You are either in the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, the Space Force. Yeah, 5. You are in one of those 5. You cannot say that you just straight up work for the DOD. I mean, there are DOD civilians that work. There are DOD militia personnel. But you can't say that you are wearing army uniforms and you say you just work for the DOD. That doesn't make any sense. The DOD is the Department of Defense, and it consists of all the branches that I just mentioned. So you saying you just work for the DOD doesn't make any sense. That alone tells me this guy is not real.
Yes, sir. Listen, I'm telling you right now, if I had regular civilian clothes to put on
So
right
why
this
would
minute,
you have Army uniform if you're in the
I
Marines?
brought
Yo, this guy just said that he is in the Marines, right? Or he was in the Marines, and you're wearing an army uniform. You have no idea how much pride military personnel take in the branch that they serve, right? So it's very difficult for you to see an Air Force personnel taking pride in army things. That is just unheard of. Or you see a Marine taking, even though the Marine is under the Navy, you hardly ever see Marines wearing Navy uniform. Like, it's unheard of. So for this guy being a Marine, like, Marines are one of the like the higher tier branches. Like, they are top notch. They take pride in who they are. For a Marine to be wearing an army uniform, that is just absurd. It's crazy.
my stepsons. My stepson just came back from South Korea. All of mine are
Listen, don't reach for it, but do you have an ID?
No, I don't on me right now.
Okay. So the instruction of don't reach for it
Yes, sir. I don't have anything on
What's
me
your
but my
last name,
cigarette.
Are you ready?
What's that?
Your last name?
Delamere.
How are you spelling that?
DELAMAIRE.
M-A-I-R-E.
Yes, sir.
Your first name?
P.
Your date of birth?
So now he's beginning to change his story. He's saying that he doesn't have any type of civilian clothes available, so that is the reason why he's wearing this uniform, right? Now he's saying the uniform is not his really, it's his son's uniform that he left, and he has just moved into town. He doesn't have anything to wear. He saw his son's uniform and he just grabbed it off the bag and wore it to come pick his dad at the airport. You see how everything is not making sense? How are you going to take your son's uniform, just wear it, and casually walk into an airport? That no reasonable person does that. No reasonable person does that.
Can I see him up? 9:25. He's getting ready to head out to Europe right now.
Okay. What's your date of birth?
9:25:70. I'll see you.
See you when I get back next year.
Have a good holiday.
Yeah.
Are you good to go now?
Keep those hands visible for me.
Oh, I have nothing on me, sir.
Have a seat.
What have I done wrong?
You
I'm just sitting here with
said
my
that you're former
stepdad.
military, right?
Yes.
So you know you can't be in uniform when you're not.
You can't.
I
you
had
can't.
nothing else that was clean. I have no other clothes that are here right now. I got here like 4 days ago with my wife. She's up in Oakhurst right now.
So you've had 4 days to get some other clothes.
I haven't gone shopping, sir. I haven't gone to the store. I haven't done anything. I brought my
Let me
son's
ask you a
ACUs.
question. Does that sound reasonable to you? If I went out tomorrow and said this is all I got?
Sir, I'm just telling you the
How
truth.
old are you?
I'm 44.
Then that's not a reasonable one.
What
By anybody's standard.
What is the way I'm dressed?
Because you're saying that that's
I'm
an army
ex-military,
uniform.
yes, I am.
That's an army uniform. Why would you have an army uniform if
It
you're
is
in the
my
Marines?
stepson's army uniform. That's all he had. He's not here right now either. I grabbed it out of his jacket, out of his closet this morning. I threw it on. I ran down here at 4 o'clock this morning to get my dad down here to drop him off, and I'm heading the hell back out. That's all I'm doing.
Okay, if you're EOD, what's the RE factor of C4?
Excuse me?
What's the RE factor of C4 if
This
you're
is
EOD?
his jacket for EOD. This is
You
his
just said
shit.
you were an EOD.
I did not say I was
Yes, you
EOD.
did.
I said
Yeah, you did.
DOD. The last
What's
place I worked
DOD
was
stand for?
What?
So, so this guy, right? This guy has a patch on. So if you, oh man, the sun. Oh, hold on, let's see if we could block the sun off a little. Okay, so this guy, right? You see the patch on his arm? It says EOD, right? EOD is actually an AFSC. It's a job title, which is explosive ordnance disposal, right? So these are the people that go about with the, I don't know, like if you watch movies and maybe they plant IEDs, which are like explosive, right? You see like a bunch of guys, they hold like this metal detectors and then they go about scanning the floor. They defuse bombs, they try to look for bombs, and so that is the job that this guy claims he does, right? So he has this patch on. Now the guy is asking him, the question he asked him, I don't really know because I'm not EOD, right? He asked him that what is something that has to do with C4? C4 is a type of explosive. Now any explosive personnel will know this because they deal with these bombs. They deal with it all the time. It's a simple question that any explosive person, I believe, will know. But this guy really didn't get the question. He didn't really understand what was going on. So
What's DOD stand for?
Department of Defense.
Okay.
And I know what EOD stands for, Explosive Ordnance Disposal. I understand that. I grabbed his
So
stuff.
what was your MOS in the Marines then?
Can I get lost on one, please?
Exactly.
Excuse
Well, at least he got that one right. He got what DOD stands for, Department of Defense. So he, at least he got that one right.
me?
Exactly, you don't know.
What did you say?
What's your MOS?
Oh my God. I
What's your-
cannot believe that I'm going to get jammed up for dropping off my dad this morning.
Yeah, because what you're wearing. I actually.
So they just asked him. Well, he claims he's not in the army, right? He picked his son's uniform and wore it. Now, okay, so he said he was in the Marines, right? So they are asking him, what was your MOS? What was your job in the Marines? Now, because they used the term MOS, he couldn't get it. So you see, he's trying to like play.
Recently got out of the Army, and it's called stolen valor. It's
I am not stealing anybody's valor, sir. I swear to God, if I had any other things to put on this morning, I would have done it. It was 4 o'clock this morning.
It's simple. What job did you do in the Marines? What is your MOS? You cannot answer the job that you signed a 4-year contract to do. You actually did that 4 or 6 year contract. You cannot answer what you did for that 4 or 6 years. That doesn't make any sense.
I went into my son's stepson's closet. I grabbed some shit. I threw it on, and I slept all the way to the off ramp. No, I don't.
Where do you live?
I live in Course Gold right now.
You sure?
Yes, sir. 3583 Douglas Road North.
Have you ever had a California ID or driver's license?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever been arrested?
Yes, I have been arrested once.
When was the last time you were arrested?
Oh, wow, it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
So right then what the cops are doing is, just from taking his name and his date of birth and a few information, they are pulling up his records. So right then the cops are trying to find out who this guy is really. So they figured out that he has a California driver's license. They're just trying to connect the dots if what he's saying is true.
Oh, let's see. It was a domestic violence that I beat in court. Yeah, it was out of Madera. Yeah, out of Course Gold.
so if you threw that and all that those patches were on there.
Shit up right here
All
until I
those
got out of the car.
all those patches were on there when you threw it
Yes,
on.
sir. Yes, they were.
He was he in the Army?
Yes, he was. I'm telling you, this is what was on this jacket. I got nothing else in here. I got a pack of cigarettes is what I've got in my phone.
Do you have any tattoos?
No, sir.
You don't have any tattoos?
I have no tattoos. I do not like needles.
You don't?
Okay, so there's one more thing I'm noticing about this uniform, right? Okay, so you claim your son was in the Army. When you look up here, it doesn't say U.S. Army here. It doesn't say his son's name, because usually you're supposed to have a name tape that goes on here. So it should have your last name on here. It doesn't say anything like that. When you look right in the middle here, it's supposed to have your rank, but it doesn't have his rank either. I'm trying to avoid the sun. It doesn't have his rank either. So all these things that this guy is saying, and when you look on, you remember the first guy that we looked at, he had a US flag. This guy has the Confederate flag on there, which doesn't make any sense. It does not. There is no branch that will allow you to put a Confederate flag up here. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Have a lightning bolt?
Oh yeah, no, I do. Okay, I do. I have one small one.
We've got some issues, man.
Sir, I
asked you twice.
Would you like to
How
see
do you
it?
forget about a tattoo?
Because it was when I.
And he said he has a pack of cigarettes here. Military members hardly ever put pack of cigarettes in their top pockets. It's not done. So actually, if he was a Marine, and Marines are one of the highest, like I said, they take pride in everything that they do, right? So if you're a Marine, I've never seen Marines put cigarette up here in the top pocket. So if you're a Marine and you're wearing an Army uniform, that is something that naturally, subconsciously wouldn't occur to you to do.
I was like 16 years old. I don't even fucking look at it.
You know, they asked him, do you have any tattoos? Because remember, when the cops asked him his information, they pulled up his record, right? So all these questions the cops are asking him, they actually already know the answers. Like, they're seeing it in the system, right? They ask him, do you have any tattoos? This guy is like flat out, no, he doesn't have tattoos. He's even scared of needles. Then they ask him, do you have a lightning bolt on your shoulder or not? Because obviously he's been arrested before. They've captured pictures of him, so they know he has a lightning bolt tattoo here, right? And then they ask him, and then now suddenly he remembers he has a tattoo. Like, who doesn't remember they have a tattoo on themselves?
But
I cannot
listen,
believe it. I'm just dropping off my dad.
Listen,
man.
you
That's
can't
all.
wear that uniform.
Oh, I want you to take it off right this second. I will. I'm telling you, I had nothing else.
Because people dressed like you and pretend they're in the military.
I am not pretending I'm in the military right now. I'm just telling
you
the
don't
God's
wear that
honest truth.
uniform if you're not in the
So
military.
that was your father, right?
Yes.
So he's gone.
Yes,
There's no reason for you to be here, right?
No, sir.
So you're ready to go, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's roll.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate
Stolen
it.
valor right here.
Again, you will
It
probably be
won't.
arrested.
I will be.
And I think what happened in this guy's situation was he was trying to impress his dad. I think that was what happened. So he's not really in the military, or maybe he was in the military some time ago, and it's been so long, right? But maybe he's been telling his dad that he's still in the military, and really he's not. So he shows up in the uniform trying to impress his dad, you know, seeing him off and all of that. And suddenly he finds himself being questioned by these cops and all of these things. But that was it for you guys today. Like, if you enjoyed this type of videos, leave a comment. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of these. Just, you know, how we catch these guys trying to pretend they're in the military. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.